Hi everyone, my name is Isabel. I am the creator for Ginger Root Budgets here on YouTube, and I wanted to start off my first YouTube video with a how to budget video. So I'm gonna make this quick because I know I don't want to take too long, but I want to go over the materials that you're gonna be needing in order to budget. Now, disclaimer, you do not need all of these items. These are just suggestions that I would recommend for you. I also have recommendations if you don't want to get those items. So first things first, you're gonna need a binder or a journal or a notebook, or you can even use your tablet. You need something to physically write down how you're gonna be spending your money. So I'm currently using a notebook. I actually got this one from Michael's and I think it was on clearance too, but you want to get a notebook, or if you are using a tablet, they do sell a lot of journaling spreads or budgeting spreads that you can buy, and it's essentially an outline that you use and you just write down your categories, and they're amazing. I actually used to budget on my tablet, but I started falling out of it and I just miss handwriting stuff, so I use a notebook now. Next item you're going to be needing is some cash binders. So I think the majority of budgeters on YouTube and just in general use cash binders. You want to buy some cash envelopes that go with your binders. So I currently have these. I actually made these. I know a lot of people who are on YouTube also have a small business, so I would highly recommend for you to take a look into that. I definitely need to mention that you need to get the appropriate size envelopes for the appropriate size binders. So there's different types of binders. There's A6, A7, A9. I believe there's A5, A3. So you want to make sure that if you buy an A6 binder that you get A6 envelopes. So these two are A6. A6 and A7 binders are probably the most popular. The difference between all of those is the size, and it's also how many rings it has and how separated each of the rings are. So just make sure that you watch out for that, especially if you're buying from like small businesses and stuff. You want to make sure that your binder matches your envelopes. And usually if you buy the binder, most likely it will already come with envelopes. But just as an FYI, if you're buying them separate, make sure that they match. Now, if you are barely starting out with budgeting, I would definitely recommend to wait on getting these and just get these regular mailing envelopes. And the reason is because you don't want to spend money on stuff if you don't know that it's going to be something that you're going to be using. So these probably cost me $20 to $30 together just for the binders because I made my own envelopes. So if you are starting out, start off with something cheap. Start off with something that is not gonna cost you a lot, because what if at the end budgeting isn't for you? So this is all a way for you to figure out if you actually like it or if you can actually do it, if it's sustainable for you. Highly recommend for you to start off with just regular binders. Regular envelopes. So these I got from Daiso. They have cute little piggies on it, and I've had these for like 3 years already. But get these if you're starting out. You can write down your category, you can buy stickers, you can decorate them, you can still do a bunch of stuff with them as you would with the regular cash envelopes, but you're just starting off with this. Next thing I would recommend is for you to get some sort of saving box or a saving challenge. Now I have 2 saving challenges. I have the 5,000 and the 2023. This is a very great way on saving money. I really like them because they're aesthetically pleasing, but again, if you are just starting out and you're not really sure if budgeting is for you, just go ahead and buy a bunch of these envelopes and just write down pretty much the same thing that are in here, but you're just writing them down in these envelopes. that's actually how I started out doing them, but I just saw a bunch of YouTubers that were budgeting that had these, and they caught my attention, so I had to get them. So I actually handmade these. These are really nice. I would have bought them, but I just can't find any that are nature inspired. So these, I am such a nature enthusiastic person, and I wanted something that fit my aesthetic. So I went ahead and bought paper myself and just made them. So highly recommend these. If you don't want to purchase the boxes, or if you're thinking of a different way of saving money, I would highly recommend for you to buy, or maybe you can make yourself some sort of like a scrapbook binder. This is one that I've made myself. It is called a cash folio. I have not seen anyone else do something like this, and I actually do scrapbooking on the side, so I figured why not try making something different, something that catches my attention. So this just pretty much has subcategories of, it has like little inserts in each page, and each page is different, and every insert I would put a certain amount of money. So this is my vacation savings challenge. I am actually planning a trip to go visit my family soon, so I figured that I can just start saving a little bit on the side. So whatever money I save in here is going to go towards my vacation, and I absolutely love this paper collection. It is so cute. But yeah, I have those 3 savings challenges, so I would highly recommend for you to start doing savings challenges. They do have cash envelopes that have a savings challenge in them. You can find them on Etsy. If you are looking at other YouTube videos, they also, like, you can also see them. So I don't have any of those to show you, but I definitely want to start smaller saving challenges, because the ones that I have in the box are pretty big amounts. So I want to definitely start doing some smaller ones. But those are the things. I also have a bank bag. This is a really cute one that my sister got me, I believe, for Christmas a couple years ago. But I have, so whenever I go to the bank, I'll go ahead and either put in money here. If I need to pay off my credit card, I'll have money in here to get out. I use this to put my keys in, my ID, my card, whatever I need to go to the bank. And then if I take out money, I also put it in here. So I just have a bag dedicated for my bank, called it my bank bag, and it just works for me. It helps me stay organized. It helps me stay motivated. It's really cute looking too, so I get really excited when I go to the bank. So other than that, I would recommend for you to get a wallet that fits the type of system that you want to do. This is not the wallet for me. I'm currently in the process of getting a new wallet because I currently have my money in, like, I have it separated by stick notes. So I'm currently in the process of getting a new wallet that's going to help me better organize. But you also want to give yourself some time to actually think about how you're going to start separating your money. I think something that a lot of people don't talk about is giving yourself a grace period of just trying it out, figuring it out. You might not like the first time that you're doing it. And let's say you started budgeting a certain way, you've been doing it for 3 weeks and you don't like it. Give yourself some time to just try new things, try something else, or maybe just figure out, watch different videos out there. There's so many videos. I love this community because everyone is so heartwarming and everyone is so nice. But yeah, those are pretty much the essentials that I use for my budgeting. So I'll go ahead and just jump straight into how to start actually budgeting. Okay, so I have broken down the 4 categories that I use. So I use a bill category. That's going to be your set in stone category. That's going to be anything that has a constant payment where you have to do once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, whatever. But this is pretty much a category where you would pay certain things off at a certain period of time. Doesn't just have to include bills. It can include credit card payments. It could include gym memberships, things like that. The next category is going to be cash envelopes. That's going to be your daily and your weekly essentials. So this category involves things like gas, groceries, food when you dine out, you eat out at restaurants, fast food, whatever. That's going to be this category. So if you're someone that constantly goes to the post office to drop off packages, then you would have like a category where it's for shipping. But it depends on what you do on like a weekly or a daily basis. But technically, a lot of people have this pretty similar to everyone. Usually people have the same category for this one. The fun one is going to be your sinking funds. The sinking funds is going to be a fund in which you pretty much build it up until you need to get a certain thing that you're looking for, and then once you achieve that amount of money, take it out, you buy the item, and then so you constantly are back and forth with building it and replenishing it. So that's going to be your sinking funds. I like to break it up into two categories. It's going to be a high priority, low priority. Difference is going to be these are greater importance, these are not as important, but you're still trying to save. Good example for this one would be car registration. Now, car registration, everyone only has to do once a year, and it could cost a couple hundred. I think mine was last time it was between 200 to 300. So since I only have to pay that once a year, I like to build it up. So I put 5 in there, 10 in there, put whatever you want every week. And even though you're not going to take it out, you're only going to take it out once a year, it's still allowing you to save for that fund. Low priority is going to consist of anything that maybe you want that is not really a necessity. For example, I do a lot of roller skating, so I have a low priority category for roller skating. And if one of my wheels ends up messing up, or if I have to buy new trucks, new laces, new toe stops, anything, I would put it in here because it's not something that I'm desperately needing. It's just something that I want to get. So those are your two categories of sinking funds. Last category is going to be savings and your challenges. They're essentially the same thing, but like I showed you before, these are going to be your cash boxes. They're going to be anything that you use to save money. The difference between your savings and your sinking funds is going to be that your savings, you're only going to input money. With your sinking funds, you can input, take out, input, take out. So you're both saving for both, but your sinking funds is going to be something that you can grab whenever you want. Savings is going to be a saving. So a lot of people kind of get those confused because they do overlap a little bit, but that's kind of the breakdown of how you want to do it. So clean slate, starting from nothing. I would highly recommend for you to start on bills. So go ahead and write down what bills you have. Now this can vary obviously depending on the type of person. If you are a teenager, you're not going to have that much bills. If you're someone who's into their adulting life, you're going to have a bunch of bills. So you want to write down, so I will just show you. So these are the main bills. I do pay like small bills. I have a Cricut design bill that I pay. It's $10 a month, but I don't include it because that is pretty tiny. But these are the main bills that I pay for. So you want to write down the date, the category, and the amount. This is really going to help you so that way when you are saving for these bills, you know when to take them out. I like to categorize them based on what is due first. I tried doing that here, but they kind of got a little bit out of order. So go ahead and do that. And I want to show you quickly my budget binder. So this is actually a notebook. I keep calling it a binder, but it's a notebook. It is a dot grid journal, and Like I mentioned before, I used to use my tablet, but I started using my notebook because it just feels better to me. It's more aesthetically pleasing to my eyes, and I just find that the system works better for me. So I'll just show you a couple spreads so you can see. So the way that I have this laid out is I have my income. This is how much money I'm going to budget for that week. If I have side income, I'll put that in there and then total it up. I have the cash envelope category. I have the bill category. I have sinking funds, and I have challenges. Now I started doing this just this year, and I don't know why I didn't do it sooner because I love this aesthetic. This is like a mix between scrapbooking, journaling, and budgeting. So it just works for me. I love it. But those are pretty much the categories that I mentioned before. You got bills, cash envelope, sinking funds, challenges. So once you have your categories for your bills, I would recommend to put it in order. So I tried doing that here, but I forgot to put a little section of when they're due. But go ahead and put that in. And then I'll just show you a quick breakdown because I think it'll be easier if I just switch over to this side. So my cash envelopes, is going to consist of my groceries, dining out, gas, miscellaneous, and giving. Just have 5. Usually people just stick to a small amount. These are going to be the ones that go in your regular wallet. So I already showed you I don't have any type of system in here because I'm currently switching out this one for another one. So I'm just waiting to get all the materials for that. But that's what's going to be in your wallet. Then for your bills, you go ahead and get your bill binder. Going to be here. I actually already have those envelopes, so I'll go ahead and pull them out. So I have internet, university. I still owe money to my university. I actually graduated a year ago. I have a bachelor's degree in biochemistry, so really proud of that. Took me a while. It took me 6 years, so I have a lot of debt that I need to pay off. I have my car that I need to pay off, car insurance, my rent, and my utilities. My rent and utilities come together, so I don't have a category for each because I get charged together for them. Is my car payment, my gym membership. Gym membership for me includes any type of supplements that I need to buy. It includes leggings or clothing or equipment that I need. I have a trainer right now, so I'm putting money in there for that as well. And then I have electric. I think the most satisfying part about getting these types of stuff is like just filling it up and like seeing your money grow. That's like my favorite part. So bills is all done. Like I said, I am not going to put anything for my cash envelopes because I'm currently in the process of getting a new one. Challenges. So for challenges, I know mine's already had the sections off, but if you do not have, if these are blank, some of them come blank, so you can always like just fill it out yourself. If you're using the just plain envelopes, go ahead and figure out what challenges you want. I am currently doing the 5,000 savings challenge, the California vacation challenge, and I was gonna do the $5 challenge, but I ended up changing it to the 2023 challenge. Okay, sinking funds. So for sinking funds, pretty much all I have is, so I tried separating it. The first 5 or the first 4 or 5 are going to be my top priority, which includes emergency, car registration, car maintenance, health, medical, fur babies. I have 2 cats. This one is very high priority. One of my cats has a urinary problem and he needs medicated food for that. And so it's kind of pricey. I also spoil them with a bunch of cat toys, so definitely a priority. One thing that I moved to priorities is my plant care. So as you can see, once I start filling these out, it's gonna be better separated. But fur babies and plant care are going to be in my high priority. I am a big plant mom, but I do live in Washington and it gets very cold and some of my plants have died, so I want to get new plants. I want to start all over since spring is right around the corner and then it's summer. I want to get new plants. So those are my top priority. Low priority includes crafting. JRC stands for Ginger Root Creations. That's the Etsy shop that I want to start up for budgeting. So I have a category for that. I have clothing, beauty, home decor. Again, those are low priority. I do want to get a new tattoo and a new piercing, so I'm hoping that I can do that before summer. There's my roller skating, gift and holiday, and then travel. I think I'm going to move my travel to high priority only because I do still have to buy the plane ticket for the trip that I'm taking for California, so definitely moving up. But these are your sinking funds. I think I went over everything. Bills, cash envelopes, challenges. Yep. So that is pretty much how I have things laid out. And keep in mind that if you budget every week, you have the liberty to change your categories, to change the order of them, to add, take away. Like you are the dictator that dictates how you're going to have your spread. One thing that I love about having this spread as well is having this section right here. This is going to be your expense tracking. This is where I track all the places that I buy money from, and I put the date, what I bought, what place, how much it costs, and I also have a section where I have whether I paid with a debit card, credit card, or cash. So I pretty much have all this stuff broken down already. I also like to include a little note. I like to include inspirational quotes because I feel like that just really motivates me. I put, it's not your salary that makes you rich, it's your spending habits. So, very true. So that is essentially how I have my spread. Oh, one thing I didn't really talk about is this little category right here. This is my no spending. I didn't end up filling it out. But this is how I budget for, this is how I can track what days I spend money on. So obviously there's going to be a time where you spend money every single day, but it is nice to know the days that you don't spend money. There's a couple spreads that I used to do where I would have the month, and I would have like day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, and then I would put whether I spend money or if I didn't, and if I didn't spend money I would highlight it green, and it would just be really nice to see like all the days that I didn't spend money. So that's pretty much how I have my spread. I could always do a video on how I get my spread like this. I have actually not really seen a bunch of YouTubers with a type of spread like this. So if you guys want a video, I can show you how I kind of put it out. But that is how I separate, and I quickly want to go over, because I feel like there's a little bit of confusion, I want to talk about rollover money. So if you have money that you spend on your cash envelope, so that's going to be your gas, your groceries, your eating out, and you didn't spend money on that, that is called rollover money. And you can use rollover money on whatever you want, but sometimes people will keep the money in there and then just budget less that week. Rollover money, the way that I use it is I like to put it in my safe as safety. It's a safety net for me. So I'll give you a quick example. If I use for groceries, so I'll just do groceries, gas, dining out, miscellaneous. I'll just do those as my cash envelopes. If I do $50 for groceries, $20 for gas, $20 for dining out, $10 for this, and then by the end of me budgeting, I have 0 here, 0 here, 7 here, and let's say I didn't spend any miscellaneous, I will take the total, so that is going to be $17, and I will put it in my bank bag, and that money will stay in there just as a safety net in case something happens, then I need more money from a certain category that I have. I'll go ahead and take that $17 and input it in there. But I like to keep it in here. I have my very own rollover money envelope that goes in here, so that way I know like what I took out that week, and then what's my rollover. So I'll just keep it in here just to not be super confusing, but that's essentially what rollover money is. Let's see, is there anything else I need to go over? Oh, I guess I'll do a quick breakdown of how to do it. So if you get paid bi-weekly, which the majority of people do, I get paid bi-weekly, you can budget bi-weekly as well, which means that you can budget for 2 weeks. So this is 2 weeks. I like to budget every week. So even though I get paid bi-weekly, I will go ahead and budget every single week, because that is just the way that I like to do it. I like to manage my money on a week-to-week basis rather than just doubling it up and budgeting for every 2 weeks, if that makes sense. So let's say, for example, I get paid $1,000 bi-weekly. You can easily just split it down the middle. So do $500 here, $500 this week, and then you dictate what each $500 is going to go into. Maybe one week you might need to put more money into a certain category. Maybe you're throwing a party and you need to spend more money on food. Then that's how you're going to dictate. Versus here you have no party, so you can dictate how you spend your money. I hope that is making sense. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, but another example is, let's say I got paid $1,000 bi-weekly. Maybe week 1, I have a dentist appointment and I know I'm going to have to pay a certain amount of money. I can budget for $700, and then the next week I can budget for $300. So it just really depends on the style and the way that you like to budget. I need to see my money move every week. I feel like I just love looking forward to that. At the end of the week, I go home, it's a Friday, take out money. On Saturday, I determine where that money's going. It feels really good to budget every week. I would not be able to do it every 2 weeks, but that's how you pretty much would do it. Now, people like to separate their money based on categories. So by that, I mean they'll put 50% towards bills. They'll do 20% towards savings. And then you can do 30% for funds. So just look at the different types of budgeting systems there is. See how much you need to spend on certain items. If you're someone that is really struggling on paying off a loan, you might want to put more money into savings. You might want to bump that up to 30% versus 20%. So just figure out how you want to go about it. I feel like it's so not necessary for me to say that, but it just comes down to how you want to budget. Figure out what works best for you. Figure out what is going to be the best thing. And again, Don't worry if the system doesn't work for you. You can try different type of stuff. You can implement different rules to yourself. I think one thing that is very helpful is if you keep yourself accountable. I know it's really hard to do that, but you are on a budgeting journey to try to save money. So try to keep yourself accountable to where your money goes. Try to keep yourself true to how you spend money as well. You can easily fall off the wagon and budget and then just buy stuff with your credit card and not go through the way you wanted it to. So just try your hardest. Look up resources, look up other videos, comment if you don't really know what you're doing. I can message you, try to get you back on that path. But let's do this together. I want us to save this year. Not just me. I want everyone who's watching to, prosper this year. 2020 and 2021, 2022, they've all been super hard years with all the setbacks that people had to face. So let's go ahead and push for this journey. So next video will be my first budgeting video. So let's get that ball rolling, and I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Bye.